Let's see. For the spring pavement marking, we've just extended the contract, so we don't need to do bids. And then we'll take care of doing the maps and getting that to them. Let's see. Cover crosswalks. We're advertising for seasonal laborers again this year. We got a few returning ones that have come back year after year for like mowing and flagging and all that kind of stuff. I want to say we're roughly at 5 or 6 returning, and then we're looking for 12 total. I told the townships when I was at those meetings that if they've got people that are interested, give us a call. Also, 1 intern slot for engineering to help with the road counts and traffic counts and all that good stuff for Heather. We submitted stuff or gave stuff to like Trine University and the ISD to put it out to all the high schools that have seniors and that kind of stuff. We've actually got, I think, 1 decent one looks like from Trine already. So we'll see how that goes. We met with they can do traffic counts too, Heather. She says that's for inspecting federal aid projects, not traffic counts. We can use them for what we need. We had a meeting with Primoris or Heartwood, whichever is. Primoris is the basic company local here, about fixing some of the roads around the solar farms there in Fayette. And so we're going to do up with 2 different contracts, one for gravel for all the gravel roads, and then one for asphalt for doing some paver patching on Jonesville Road and Bunn Road. We kind of came to a general consensus of all the roads. We went out and met with them and drove the roads a couple weeks ago. So we were giving them a tonnage of what we thought it was going to take to fix the gravel roads, and so we basically took all the roads that they were working on and kind of messing up, and told them it'd be a 3-inch cap with gravel. Came out to about 12,500 tons, and they didn't seem to bat an eye. So we'll do a contract and do that tonnage, and then we'll also have to go out and measure the spots for paver patching, so we tell them how much HMA, and we're basically doing with them basically what we would do with the township, where they're paying the materials, and we're doing the labor and equipment.
What about the pavers?
Same thing, we do the labor and equipment with our pavers. Those would be paver patches, so it's not going to be paving the whole road. It's going to be those spots that the shoulders are breaking off, or there's a spot that needs to be done. We'll do paver patches and give them a cost for how much HMA is. Let's see.
So is that what we normally do when somebody comes in and?
For a township?
Well, I know that's what we do for township, but they have come in and they're fixing the roads because they have degraded them.
Yes.
That's what we did with the windmills.
Yep.
That's what we did with the windmills as well.
I don't know the windmills.
The windmills.
Well, the
Or-
windmills, we got the money for the material,
Yeah.
and we did the labor.
That's what we did with the windmills,
Mhm.
and that must not have been all of it. That's what we did originally, and then the windmills came up with some extra money.
Yes.
That's what we did
Okay.
with that extra
But
money,
the
I
extra.
wasn't here with the previous.
But prior to the extra money, originally,
Yes.
we did what our share was what we do with the townships.
Apparently, yes. Okay.
I don't think so, not on the windmills.
There's 2 different payments.
Yes.
They came in and fixed some of the roads, and that
While
was
they
prior
were
to me
doing-
being
While
on the
they were
board.
doing all the movement, when they
Yes.
got done, fixed some of the roads that they damaged.
And that
Then
was
they-
done prior to us being on the board.
Yeah.
Then they gave that however many thousands of dollars
Right.
that was split between the townships for Addison Road.
Right.
But anyway, that's a pretty significant amount to come in and put 12,500 tons of gravel down.
Well, I guess the conversation would be is going forward, are we happy with us footing some of that bill, or should these companies foot 100% of the bill?
I guess that's up to you guys, but me personally, they don't do 100% of the damage. The normal local traffic, if you take all the roads that they're not running, are still in just as bad a shape
Okay,
as what they're doing.
okay. Okay, even on our paved roads?
Yeah,
All right, okay. Because Heartwood, whomever they are, Camoras, is that what you said?
Hartwood, I think, is the parent company to Primoris.
You know, they're looking to expand in Fayette Township, so
Yep.
you're gonna have more,
Well, and
plus other.
rolling into that,
Yeah.
they haven't asked for, and I've actually asked these guys, they're like, about the new expansion, they're like, nope, we're doing this part, that expansion has nothing to do, they want nothing to do with, you know, their name to the expansion because it's raising quite a stink. So they haven't come to us for a new road use agreement for this new stuff, so, because they're gonna have possibly another laydown yard and all these other entrances and other roads that they're using, so that'll have to be a totally another road use agreement, which we're doing that right now with Pivot Energy. They're putting one in on Somerset Road at the corner of Somerset and Vickery, and then one on Card Road at the corner of 49 and Card. And so I just sent it back to them. I had our attorneys look it over from Acrissa, and we sent it back to them with some changes. So we'll see. And basically, we're telling them we want to see when you're done moving all your stuff in. We want to put a 2-inch cap on Card Road and a 2.5-inch cap on Vickery and a 3-inch gravel lift on Somerset. And this is going to be the cost. And you know, kind of no bickering. This you pay for it, and when you're done, that's the work we're going to do. If we overrun it for some reason, then it's on us. But I think we've put a decent amount out there for them.
And the Somerset Vickery, that's primarily in Jackson,
Well, the Vickery Road part is in Jackson, the Somerset Road's us.
Somerset.
So, yes, and I've talked to Angie in
Okay.
Jackson, she's like, do whatever you can do to help Vickery Road,
Okay,
and so that's where
okay.
we threw that in.
And Card Road and 49, that must be down in Reading Township?
Yep. And it's really only about not even a half mile of, because they're going in basically 2 fields and then going in to that second field. And so we're excited that basically we want to do the cap down, like past that, there's a house right there, down to it goes to a low spot. We'll cap it to there, so that's at least everything that they're using. We'll get them right to 49. And
So is the 49 Card Road one, do you know how many acre solar field that is?
it's not real big, that's actually the smaller of the two. And you can look on the map, there's Card Road and 49, and there's one like kind of square field there. The next one down is kind of skinnier, and it has like a swampy part in the front of it, and so it's not as big. I don't know how many acres it was.
So there's 2 fields involved.
The Somerset Township is about 40 acres.
Oh, so that's
That's-
2 then.
Yeah, they're very small. This one's very small. They're not going to do a laydown yard. They're taking material straight to each site and building from there.
Yeah, these guys aren't as big as
And so
the one in Fayette.
if the one in Somerset's 40, this one's probably 20, 25.
Well, part of that questioning comes from, my understanding was consumers didn't want small parcels anymore, so I'm surprised these are going on. But anyway, that's not really road commission issues, but.
Okay. We already talked about that. We intend to switch to our 410s on April 6th. We'll probably bring back the guys from the outlying garages about that time too. And
So are they not forecasting any snow in late March, early April?
not usually.
Wow.
Sometimes late March, but
Okay.
usually by the time we get to April, and they can still run out of here. I mean, it's not most of them are probably going to have teeth blades on for grading roads anyway, so you get a snow like that, usually that time of year, you can throw salt and, treat it with material, and you're not gonna do a lot of plowing usually.
Okay.
You get a big snow plow, they switch over to straight blades and,
I just remember, St. Patrick's Day, 1973. 18
I remember
years.
playing in that one, but.
I was out playing in it too.
I got stuck on my way home from my dad's
We had to
with my
dump-
tractor. I got stuck with my tractor.
we had to dump
And we'll
it.
probably be, ending the night shift then too for,
April sixth.
No more
and
night
that's kind of a thing with them now, if something comes up or is forecasted, we'll then put them back on for like that weekend or that night or whatever. And we'll work it that way.
And the guys are okay, and that's
Yeah,
okay with
they've
the
always done that for
workforce.
you.
Okay.
At that point, it'd only probably be 2 for the state compliance for
Versus
their
4.
LRU. I think that's about all I got. Got questions?
Has there ever been a conversation with the State Department of Transportation about helping do some paving on the mile of Burt Road and the mile of Bird Lake Road that was used when M99 was closed last summer?
I went back to, we kinda asked the normal chain, you know, didn't get a good fuzzy from them, so I've gone back to, Chris and Kelby directly and asked them, and so they're supposed to be getting back with me. Kelby's the regional manager for here, so instead of trying to go through like their planning and budgeting, which is how you normally would get reimbursed for damage like that, I'm just gonna go to Kelby.
I think that both of those are primary roads. I know the
Yes.
1 mile of Bird is. And particularly at that intersection of Bird and Bird Lake. That's,
Didn't we expand that intersection for the trucks when
A little bit, yeah.
when they used that?
Yep.
As a
but
detour?
they still needed the whole,
Yeah.
they needed the whole intersection to make that turn. And the road took a beating.
So, like I said, I have put a thing to Chris and Kelby. I notified Chris just so that he's in the loop. Cause he's our rep that we actually do for local stuff here. But Kelby's really would be the one that would be able to say yay or nay or push it.
The Cambridge board meeting I went to, the Montgomery fire representative said, they've delayed 49 project for another year.
Yeah, I think I heard something on that.
That they're,
In Camden?
where they're gonna redo the bridge down there.
Yeah.
They delayed it for another year.
Yeah, I think so.
To 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't they tell us that at the meeting in the city of Hillsdale?
I
last
didn't know
fall?
if they were firm on it yet. I think they might have said they were looking at extending it. I don't know if they actually made it firm, but I think they have come out and said
Yeah.
it's gonna be
They
27.
notified the fire department down there.
Okay.
I think it was kind of in the planning stage at that meeting, and now they've planned it.
Okay. Any other questions for the manager? Do you have any old business to take care of? Anybody know of any? Okay, under new business, we have contracts with Wright, Litchfield, and Pittsford Townships.
We gotta bring up on the price change.
Did,
Litchfield. You told me to put it in folder, it's in yours folder.
Oh, it's in,
So when you get to the
Here's the folder.
township, contracts,
Yeah.
Litchfield, they were giving an updated, contract for their gravel, but submitted the old one for the 1,500 tons. So on the agenda, the estimated cost is 78,750. In the, contracts that you have, I attached the updated one that they didn't sign, so you could see what it's actually gonna be. It'll match the total cost is gonna be 52,500 versus the 78.
so basically the line above was the correct.
So this,
Fifty-two,
52,500.
Township share remains the same?
The town, well, no,
No, okay.
the township
Okay,
share will be
okay.
22,500.
Okay.
So this one here, where they marked this one for 1,500, this
Oh.
formula was off. It's
Yeah.
actually 1,500, which will be the 22.5, which
Same-
is what the
same
new
as
one
Pittsburgh.
shows 22.5.
okay,
Yes.
They've got 1,500
Yeah.
ton of gravel.
Like Pittsburgh submitted the incorrect one, but they made note of it. But Litchfield didn't.
so with Litchfield, which one of these contracts are we gonna sign?
The one they signed.
And
Okay.
we'll just make sure everything's.
You make the correction on that,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
We'll have them all together, so they'll all,
What's
They
gonna
have
go
it.
in the minutes is what they signed. And we're still gonna put the
The
contract.
incorrect one?
Yes, that's the one they signed.
We'll
They
come
didn't
in
submit,
less, and
but
so
I
they'll
will
get
still
billed
make a
less.
note.
Then we need an asterisk that the correct amounts,
yes.
Yes, I'll make a
okay,
note of
yes,
it,
okay.
but
alright, I'm alright with that. As long as there's an asterisk in the
Yeah.
minutes,
to
alright,
bring your attention to it.
correct, of why it's off, or it appears to be wrong. Okay. I would move that we approve the contract.
I'll support.
Okay, so I have a motion from Kathy and a support from Mark to approve the contracts for 2026 for Wright Township, for Litchfield Township, and for Pittsburgh Township. Any further discussion? Or questions? Okay, all in favor of the motion to approve the contract, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. They're approved. Send them all the same direction.
This last one, you didn't sign it, Gary.
Well, that's the one that,
That's the
Oh,
change
that's the
order.
they haven't signed it either.
Right.
Okay,
I just attached that so you guys could see,
all right,
they were given the correct, the updated one, they just
okay.
chose not to.
I was just checking. Broke my thing there.
That's a good one.
No, it didn't break the pen, it still works, just where I put it in your pocket.
That's,
I break them all like that.
No, those are good pens, but I like them too.
All Pittsburgh's.
There you go, cat.
That's,
you're all over there.
Okay, I would just like to, I was at the Amboy Township meeting last night, and I talked with Kevin, this morning. A lot of complaints on Woodbridge Road, first mile north off from Territorial. It's, lots of potholes. And so that road was blacktopped in 2002. Heather went back and checked it out for us. And the last time there was anything done with it was chip sealed. And I believe it was 2014. And that road gets a tremendous amount of traffic. I think we need to take a look at it. And of course, it's a local road, you know. Need to take a look at it and have a conversation with our township board about what we need to do there.
I got a call about Bird Lake Road, Adams Township, and I think we're supposed to finish that up this year, aren't we? Put gravel on it.
no, the only one we had left was,
I'd have to look at the contracts. Only one I had left was,
Gilmore, was the only one we had left.
well, we'll look into it and see.
The Bird Lake?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had a contract with Adams Township on it, didn't we? Do ditch,
I think we did everything last year except for,
ditch and
I
deburn?
billed for it.
yeah,
I know that, but I'd have to look and make sure, I'd have to look into
for
it.
which township?
The Adams. The guy said it was in really bad shape.
Oh, it's
It's probably bad, cause
probably, you know, until we grade them, it's gonna be in bad shape, but.
but I can check into that.
Okay.
I got a couple others, but I gotta talk to Heather about that. Cause those are primaries.
So at our next meeting, will we have, the application for bridge funding? Because I think that has to be in by April the 1st.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I think our last meeting, maybe Heather had given us 3 bridges around the county that were on that list. Right now, I don't remember. The only one I remember, I guess, is the one on Pittsford Road, just north of Hartley Road. two others, but, we don't wanna miss that window. So.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll, open the floor for anybody who wants to make public comment. And if you wanna make public comment, you've got, 4 minutes, and to state your name and share what's on your mind.
My name's Eric Clausen. Live right off of Camden and Cambria Road. You guys were talking culverts and stuff. There's a culvert that crosses Kircher Road, where Kircher Road butts right into Cambria Road. It's been plugged 3 or 4 years. Yesterday, with all the rain that we had, the water was washing across the road, just leaving a big trench. That culvert needs replaced. The river right there, St. Joe River, there's a little bridge there, it's just stacked up with mud. Water comes down and runs across that bridge, never goes into the river. Pours off in the fields sometimes, but the roads are so like this, a lot of it just stays in the road. And when you come off of Camden Road, that hill, it hasn't been bad this year, which I'm glad, usually just turns into an ice rink. And with all the buggies and stuff, when you come off of Camden Road, if you ain't paying attention, buggy's a good chance of hitting it, cause you're not gonna be able to.
Camden on to what?
Cambria Road, going south. I'll draw you a picture before I leave that way, you'll know. And then when you get south of Kircher Road on Cambria Road, you got the creek there. On both sides of that creek, that road, and this was back when John Sanders was here, had gotten really bad, like the water was pushing up, and they ended up bringing in the big rocks just to get it to where you could drive through it, because I got my van hung up there twice. Well, there's a section of that that's starting to come back up. You can start to see the big rocks, like black mud, just every time it rains, that mud just disappears, so there needs to be something there. I don't know if it's a culvert leaking or where that water's coming from, but you can just tell it's just coming up, pushing everything away. The buggy, I know the kids going to school, it's not good. Even driving a car across it's not good. So those are like 2 major sections that really need looked at. This is a big water problem, huge water problem. If you guys want to drive down there sometime today or tomorrow, or send your supervisor down there, have a look at it, you'll see what I'm saying. I got video on my phone, I'll show it to you. Kircher Road, you guys done a pretty good job of fixing that up. There's a section from my neighbor's house almost down to my other side of the neighbor's house where you guys didn't lay any gravel, and there's a field there that gets a lot of water, and the road is so low and everything's kind of into the road, all that water spills over into the road and just turns into a big mud hole, big ruts. My mail guy has a hard time getting up to my mailbox because it's so rutted and muddy. Is there any way you guys can come down and flatten that out with some type of gravel, get it up a little bit so that the water quits pouring over the road? Because we've got parts of the road, you've got a burr that 2 or 3 inches where the water can never leave, and you said some of the roads are wet, and that's one of our big problems.
Yeah.
Is you barely got enough to drive down the center of the road, so if you got anybody coming, you're just making the problem worse, because once that mud squishes up, there goes the lip even more. So
What's the address?
my address is 2731 Kircher Road. Because I'm like right in the middle of the section, because I've called like the last couple of years, because it was really bad last year, and you guys come down and dropped a bunch of gravel, but it was kind of all in the wrong spot. I mean, the areas did need help, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, when you come down, you can see where the gravel was all poured, and it drops like this much, and then from that area is where my buddy or my neighbor's driveway goes, all the way down to about halfway to where my other neighbor is, never got touched, and then all of a sudden you got another raise like this where all the gravel was dumped, so now all that field's just piling right there into the road. And I know they've got, the county came out years ago and put a drain in there for water problems, but I think they were just a little too far east. I think they needed to bring that drain a little bit back west, and I told him he needs to contact the county on drain commission and maybe get them out there and take a look at that to get that dried up. Until we get rid of that water, none of that's gonna go away. You know, like I said, cause once it gets wet and you got people passing each other, it's just making them sides of the burrs worse, you know, and I know the guys are instructed not to plow that stuff down, you know, which I wish they would, cause they're not real terribly tall. I think if they just go take that 3 or 4 inches off, put it back on the road, cause the roads are pretty much already mud and clay anyway, it ain't gonna make that much of a difference, but it'll help the water drain and dry out the road. You know, once the road's dry, oh, it's good. Yeah, you guys come down, grade it packs down good, but it's just, when it rains, the water's got nowhere to go, and it's just a mud fest, you know?
So Kircher Road is only 1 mile long.
Yep.
It's between Cambria and Woodbridge Road.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I get a lot of the 4-wheeler guys from the lake during the summer come flying down the road, so I don't wanna make it too nice. Seriously, I mean, these guys 80 mile an hour down the road on their 4-wheelers, you know, and then they yell and scream, hey, your dog's out. I'm like, yeah, this road ain't an 80 mile an hour road either. You know, so, you know, cause, I mean, last year I had the problem with when the road flooded, they was actually driving through my front yard. And I am very, very particular about my yard. I will literally this year, I'll sit out there with shotgun, everybody drives through the yard. I'm not kidding, man. You talk to any of my Amish neighbors, they'll tell you, yeah, you don't wanna mess with Eric's yard, 'cause I don't even allow a lot of buggies to come through my driveway, because they always end up driving through my yard, and I don't like that. I just one of them type guys, you know, I keep my own business, but, you know, I just, you know, I've definitely seen improvement with what you guys are doing. I appreciate it, you know, I'm just trying to point out a few problems that we got here, 'cause especially that Cambria section from Camden Road down to the creek, 'cause it's all downhill. If we come in and maybe dig out the ditches a little bit so the water can run off, that problem would absolutely go away. I wouldn't be in here for 10 years, guarantee it. Like I said,
You said 10 years?
you come down that road today, you will see. I mean, a lot of it is froze, but like yesterday when I left the house, the water was just running so much. There's a trench about that deep dug across, you know, from where the water is going from across my road at the end of the intersection there. And then when you look down at the creek, you can just see all the black stuff piling up, you know, from mud being pushed away, and it's just gonna create more problems, because, you know, the trucks are gonna start coming down, you know, they got sawmill down there or whatnot, you know, they're gonna start getting busy with that and plowing and all that, and it's just more traffic, more ruts, more problems. So, yeah, like I said, the water problem, I think, really needs to be addressed, and I am gonna go to the township meeting tonight, I think it is tonight. So I'm gonna bring it up to them, so that they're aware, and maybe can talk with you guys on a plan, so. Alright.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we're done. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Support.
A motion from Mark and support from Kathy to adjourn the board meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no.
You want us to stay?